Do you have a massive bucket list of movies that you need to watch? If you said yes, then great. I invite you to watch this video of me trying to get through my list. And if you said no, then how? Hello, my name is Pavel and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Uncultured, watching bucket list movies. And I think this is episode 5 because last time I said episode 5 even though it was 4. If you don't know how this series works, it's very straightforward, and if you do know how it works, then chill for 2 seconds, kick the feet up, just relax, and I'm going to quickly explain to the people that have no idea how it works. Basically, I have a huge bucket list of movies that I need to watch. It is huge. All the grey ones, I haven't seen them, and I just want to make my way through these, and hence the name. I am uncultured and want to become more cultured in like movies that everybody has seen and I've not seen. So how it works is I have this like wheel generator that I'm going to swap cameras in 2 seconds, and I'll show you. It's on my laptop, and I pick one of these movies randomly, I watch it, I review it, I talk about it, and you know, I slowly culture myself. It's very straightforward. So that's how it works. I'm really excited because, well, I don't know, I kind of feel like I've been throwing this series to the side and not really giving it the attention that it needs. So I'm happy to just film another episode of this and just get on with it. Anyway, I'm gonna put this down. It has a little hole, but let's ignore that, and I don't even know how we got there, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. Maybe something like actiony, adventure actiony. I feel like that's what I'm in the mood for. But basically, I'm gonna swap cameras now, and you can see my laptop screen, and I'll pick a movie randomly and I'll watch it. Deal? Be right back. Okay, so the movie that we're going to be watching is In Bruges. I know nothing about it except the fact that Colin Farrell is in it, and that my friends have been like, you need to watch this fucking film. So I'm gonna go watch it. Be right back.
Going up there.
Why?
It's all windy stairs. I'm not being funny.
What exactly are you trying to say?
They're a bunch of elephants.
Hello, hello, hello. I have just finished watching In Bruges, and holy fuck. I think that is my favorite movie I've watched in a series, but also one of my favorite movies that I've seen in such a long time. That movie, I'm going to speak about it in 2 seconds, but first let me read you the synopsis. Ray and Ken, 2 hitmen, get stuck in Bruges, Belgium, after an unsuccessful mission. The situation becomes complicated when their boss asks Ken to kill Ray. This movie, from the synopsis, it doesn't sound incredible, but there's... Okay, first I have to give like a massive, like, the reason this movie is like so incredible is because of the acting in this. The movie becomes incredible when you kind of read it a little bit deeper and whenever you just kind of get through it all. The first point I wrote down about this film is that it's really, really funny. But it's not really funny because it's trying super hard to make you laugh. And it's just funny because, the first point I wrote down, it is funny because the 2 characters are Irish, and it kind of made me think about like lectures I had in university about like Irishness and comedy and theatre and performance and stuff like that, and it kind of made me think of a character of the stage Irishman. I think that's what it's called. Basically, it used to be like a character that used to go up on stage and it would be like the comedic relief because they were Irish. And I feel like in this movie there's like a weird correlation because you're not really laughing at the substance of the joke, because Colin, aka Ray, is very straightforward. Like, he just calls people fat. He's like, don't climb up their stairs, you're too fat. And when I say it like that, it's not funny. But with his like accent and like the twist on it and like the way he delivers his lines, it becomes really funny because it's like this dry sense of humor. And I don't know if there's like any weird connection between like the stage Irishman and that performance here, but I feel like there is something, and I know it's like a bit of a hot take, but Colin's performance in this is incredible. Like, how do I phrase this in the right way? Like, he's a very depressed person in this movie because he's just done a mission that's gone wrong and he's killed somebody he was not supposed to kill. Like, I'm not really going to spoil this movie, but alongside the comedic elements that Colin delivers, and like the writing in this is so good, we have a complete opposite where there's like, and there's kind of like a shadow of religion throughout this movie, and like religion is a massive theme throughout it. Like, I'm not very religious, so don't really know if I'm going to be saying this correctly, but sin is a huge thing about this. Like, we see Colin, who is like very depressed, continuously question life, and he wants to, and alongside life he's questioning his morals, his ethics, and he just wants to understand that what he obviously knows what he did was very wrong, but he just wants to kind of like justify it somehow so he doesn't like feel this awful pain. No matter what he does, like every line he delivers and every action he does, there's like a shadow of like depression and guilt, and you really feel that through the screen. And then Ken, who's played by Brendan Gleeson, kind of his outlook on life is a lot more kind of like mature, I suppose. I'm saying mature very lightly because like the way he conducts himself and the way he delivers his lines is more like he kind of like has this like superiority that he knows what he's speaking about, and like he doesn't really provide comfort for Ray. He's more so trying to justify the actions that happened, and he's like, look, just get on with things. And whenever both of them kind of speak about religion and more like just like morals and like sin and everything else, it's such a like a weird and awkward conversation because we have one character who's like losing his mind because he's just after killing somebody who's not meant to kill, and the other character is kind of just trying to remain calm and almost as if he's done it before. And then all that gets tangled up when one of them has to kill the other one. Well, he's instructed to do so. I'm not going to tell you if it happens because I don't really want to spoil this movie. Like on the surface, this movie is incredibly interesting. Plus it's set in a location that is like, you wouldn't really think about setting a movie there, just in Bruges, in Belgium, but it's so beautiful and it's like the perfect backdrop because Colin Ray or whatever, he hates this place and everything around him just makes him depressed. But one other theme I wrote down is kind of like the awkward relationship between men. Like these two men have to share a room together and it makes both of them feel a lot of dread, and seeing them both interact and be extremely awkward and kind of like try have small talk, and like I feel like it highlights a theme that men are just very awkward when they're kind of just two of them on their own, especially when they're like sober, and like small conversations become so awkward, and it's a very interesting way to think about it. For me, like I found that like a weird perspective to take about the film. My only complaint about the movie is about Ralph Fiennes. I have no idea if I just pronounced his name right, but basically his presence on the screen is very minimal, and I feel like he's such a great actor that I would have wanted to have him in the movie for such a long time. But this movie is about like 100 minutes long, 90-ish, 95-ish minutes long, and I feel like they could have done just so much more with him, or just wipe him entirely from the movie and kind of just like focus on the other two characters. That's my only complaint, but he's, for the time he is in this, it is very, very good, and he's such a strong actor, and it's like the trio of men is like, I don't know, is so good, so interesting. And this movie perfectly balances the emotions you're supposed to feel. Like I didn't know if I wanted to cry or smile or just be like feeling warm, and the fact that it tackles all these themes in like 90 minutes, and I feel like they do it really, really well, is perfect. But also, I feel like it kind of takes the piss out of like action movies to an extent. Like there's a scene towards the end where there's like a shootout, and both of the men are kind of like, hey, should I shoot you first or should you shoot me first? I'll try to put a clip up here.
I suppose you got a gun up there?
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do? We can't stand here all night.
Why don't you both put your guns down and go home?
Don't be stupid. This is the shootout.
Harry, I've got an idea.
What?
My room faces onto the canal, right? I'm gonna go back to my room, jump into the canal, and see if I can swim to the other side and escape.
And it's so awkward, but it's also self-aware, and I don't know, I feel like themes like that just make this movie so great. And once again, speaking about emotions, the point where I felt the most conflicted was at the very, very, very end, because this movie kind of concludes on a point where you have to just kind of think about the ending, and you have to think about what happens, and you kind of, I feel like you have to take your own opinions and everything that you formed throughout the last 90 minutes and just kind of assume what happens in the end, because it doesn't spoon feed you, it doesn't tell you this is exactly what happened. You have to kind of make up your mind, and I really like that, because you could take many paths, and with each path you could have a different discussion about what you think happened and why it happened, and you could justify all these points because of previous things that have happened throughout the movie, and I think that is just absolutely amazing, and I love this movie, and I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because it was so fucking enjoyable and so great to watch. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna look up the director and I'm gonna watch more movies by him because that was phenomenal. I loved it so much. I really, really, really loved that movie so much. That was the perfect, I feel like it fitted my mood perfectly as well. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have you ever seen In Bruges? What did you think of it? Leave a comment, message me on Instagram. I keep scratching my nose, I'm sorry. It's itchy, I'm not picking it, I'm just scratching it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I always ask at the end of all of my videos, what movie should I watch next? Leave a comment, you know what to do. You know where to find me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, where is it? Oh, it's here. Let's see what it is. Oh. Bit depressing, but it kind of looks cool, right? So it's fine. Oh, come on, get. Nice, we're slowly slowly getting there. Nice. And that's it so far.